If you entered the main event with 7,000 other players, then found yourself amongst the final 48, how would you feel?
Yes, sir!
How would you feel if you were playing not only for yourself, but for your entire family?
I'm giving all my brothers credit, and I'm definitely going to play my heart out.
How would you feel if your exaltations made you a marked man?
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
How would you feel if you had to battle your good friend?
I think we both have a good chance, but it can turn very fast.
Ultimately, how would you feel knowing you're this close to poker immortality? Witness the fate of the final 48 tonight at the main event. Welcome to the World Series of Poker presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad, and the Rio Poker Room, which was once teeming with players, is down to just 6 tables and 48 hopefuls as day 7 continues. Among the final 48 are 3 players with a shot at breaking Joe Cada's record as youngest main event champion. 2 of those youngsters, Mikhail Seifkins and Michael Wyrod, sit at table 2, along with the combustible Filippo Condio and top Norwegian pro Johnny Lodden. Over at our center ring, the stacked featured table continues as current chip leader William Thorson is joined by former chip leaders Matt Affleck, John Racner, and Michael the Grinder Mizrachi.
It's a shark fest at the feature table, Lon. There will be blood.
We're going to be here a long time. Play down 27-0.
Duele is correct. Day 7 will not end until only 27 players remain.
This is what we started with, guys.
43 now. Yeah, it's going to be, I think
Right? From a 30,000 chip starting stack to what is now an average stack of over 4.5 million. Thorson leads with almost 13 million. Joseph Chung and Condio lurking nearby. Other notable stacks include John Racner with 8.1 million. Matt Affleck with almost 4.9 million, while Michael Mizrachi is about 2 million below chip average. The short stack is Hassan Habib. On the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam, Queen 6. Habib, the only player with main event final table experience. He folds. To Thorson now. Ace Queen of Diamonds.
His first screen name online was Il Capitano, and he just acts as if he's the captain.
The captain raises to 210,000 to the grinder, Ace Jack.
Yeah, he is the grinder, and he's wearing the bracelet he won earlier this year at the 50K Poker Players Championship. His first bracelet.
Thorson made the raise from under the gun +1. Mizrachi makes a re-raise from the hijack position.
He's now the raiser. Actually, the re-raiser.
To John Racner, he may be a re-raiser also with Pocket Kings.
He admires Grinder's aggressiveness, says he models his play after him.
And Racner does re-pop it to 1,280,000.
There are re-raises, and then there are re-raises. That was a re-raise.
Thorson now knows somebody in the hand is very serious, and he lays it down.
1,280,000? Yes. 280.
I think this is too much for Grinder. It's 1/3 of his remaining stack. He's getting low, but he probably wants to wait for a better spot.
Lily Mizrachi, Michael's wife, always watching on.
Grinder looks back at his cards, which is usually not a good sign.
Michael folds to Racner's big re-raise, and John wins the pot.
Yeah.
Ace Queen of Diamonds.
Yeah.
I mean, when you fold it now, you might fold Ace Kingdom.
I'm not folding Ace Kingdom.
The losers commiserate.
You have 2 kings?
Had kings.
Grinder was tempted to call, but the disciplined laydown ensures his main event will continue. Norman, we are getting oh so close to poker's ultimate destination. What was once a sea of humanity filled with dreamers is now an exclusive field with realistic expectations. Everyone is within reach of the final table, including this incredible group of players at our feature table.
On this table is packed to the gunnels with terrific tales. Michael Mizrachi is playing for history. John Racner is playing for his dad. Matt Affleck and William Thorson are playing for redemption. Plus, we've got Hassan Habib, the only player left to make a main event final table. If we're not packed to the gunnels, I don't know what gunnels are.
To the outer tables to catch up on former chip leader and bracelet winner Theo Jorgensen. His table mate in the small blind, James Fennell, shoved for about 1.4 million with pocket 8s. Jorgensen in the big blind with 9-7 calls to put Fennell at risk.
Fennell, 27-year-old pro from Dublin, and he gets called down here by the motley 9-7 off.
I got an overcome.
And now everybody at this table knows what Jorgensen is willing to call with. So Fennell at risk. Here's the flop now. 4-7, 9, top 2 pair for Jorgensen.
That's a very good 9.
No, that's a very bad 9.
Jorgensen in great shape to knock Fennel off. Turn card ace of spades. Jorgensen with a flush draw now.
Which means Fennel can only stay alive with one card, the 8 of hearts.
The river card's a 10 of clubs, and Jorgensen with his 2 pair knocks out Fennel. Fennel walks away with almost $169,000.
Jorgensen likes to gamble. He calls the all-in with 9-7 off and sends Fennel home. The least he should do is pay for his cab fare back to the airport.
Well, the Scandinavians are scary poker players. Nearby, Joseph Chung with pocket tens called 21-year-old Evan Lamprea's all-in pre-flop, holding ace-jack, 1 card to come. The river card is a tray, and Chung will win the hand and knock off young Evan Lamprea.
He was a kid with a dream.
Joseph Chung adds nearly 2 million new chips, and he is once again the tournament chip leader.
The youngest player in the field is now out. There are now only 2 players left that can break Joe Cata's youngest ever main event champ record.
Those players are Michael Wyrot and Mikhail Sipkins, both currently seated at table 2. Wyrot, the elder of the 2 youngins by about 2.5 months, is watching as Sipkins is dueling with Johnny Lawden. Sipkins raised pre-flop with 4 tray of spades. Lawden called him with queen 9 of clubs.
Lawden, the old man in this hand at age 25.
So these 2 heads up to the flop. It is king 10-8. Neither pairs up. Lawden with a gut shot. Sipkins first to act. He missed the flop, but he's going to bet at 225.
Sipkins showing us the new law of the land. Raise pre-flop with no hand. Lead out post-flop with no hand.
Lawden makes the call. He's got nothing either. Another 8 on the turn. Sipkins sees nothing there he likes. Except chips, 450,000.
Sipkins' plan is to keep shooting until he hits something.
125.
Lawden rebluffs at it to over 1 million.
Lawden's just hit gold, Lon. That's a great read. Remember, Johnny's got nothing too.
Sipkins now. Yeah, a little unsure about it, and he lays it down.
Could make a big move.
Had a better hand than you.
Bishop Tudu had a better hand than Sipkins, and he doesn't even play poker.
Mikhail loses that hand, but he is up more than 1 million chips on the day. Let's get back to our featured table. The lineup there just got tougher. David Baker joins this murderer's row. Baker's already made 2 final tables at this year's World Series. He would love to make it a hat trick. Action is on John Racner now. Racner with King Queen.
Racner's mom deposited $50 for him online when he was 16, and he ran it up to $30,000 in a few months.
He raised it up to $180,000, folded over to Baker. 38-year-old looks down at pocket trays.
He worked in business sales for 10 years before becoming a poker pro.
Baker makes the call. Now to William Thorson. Thorson, 10-9 of diamonds.
I believe if Thorson worked in sales, he'd be salesman of the month like 10 months a year, and the other 2 months, he'd sell nothing.
From the hijack seat, he makes the call. On the button now, Michael Mizrachi with ace-jack.
And he's got the prettiest card in the deck.
I'm all in.
And with that ace of spades and the jack, Grinder moves all in for $1.5 million, and Lily's on edge.
Just a little while ago, ace-jack not good enough for Grinder to call a 4-bet. Here, it's good enough to push all in. Grinder sensing some weakness in front of him.
Racner with King Queen lays it down. Now over to Baker with a small pocket pair.
It's not fair. I'm sitting here thinking I got to look over at your wife.
You take on one, you take on all.
You got to be more worried about her, not me.
Baker with the trays. Lays it down. Now to Thorson.
How much is in there? 720. It's like 800. Yeah, cool.
Thorson makes the call to put Grinder at risk.
Yeah, sure he's going to gamble there, and the Grinder's magical year now in peril.
Indeed, Norman. The whole Mizrachi cast will now sweat the next 5 cards.
The year of the Mizrachis just one bad board away from being over.
These 2 have tangled before. Thorson has Michael at risk.
I didn't think Williams was going to call. The only one I didn't think was going to call.
Thorson says, I would have called from the parking lot.
All right, here's the flop. Michael Mizrachi at risk. It is 7 ace 5. Mizrachi catches his ace.
Grinder now a 9-1 favorite, and Thorson now wishing he hadn't called.
Now the turn card. It's a jack. Thorson with a gut shot.
Out. We got outs. And everyone is talking about the 8 of diamonds.
A new set of outs for William Thorson. Any 8 would knock out Michael Mizrachi.
And now the river card. Will it be the Mizrachi's last? It's another ace! Aces full, keeps the Mizrachi family around.
I timed the nuts, kid.
Mizrachi Palooza will continue.
Thorson took a shot at eliminating the never-say-die Grinder, but only made him richer in the process. So Michael collects his 3.6 million chips. Thorson takes the hit. He's down to 11.1 million.
It's not over yet, guys. I'm still in action.
Just when you think he's out, Grinder pulls himself back in.
Life is all about challenges and how we face them, the plays we make, the risks we take. That's why I love poker. It's where I get my buzz. And compared to that, this is just a walk in the park. With more free-to-enter tournaments than any other site, challenge yourself at PokerStars.com and find the poker star in you.
Since Daniel Negreanu captured the inaugural WSOP Player of the Year award in 2004, we've seen an impressive group of winners. Alan Cunningham in 05, followed by Jeff Madsen, Tom Schneider, and Eric Lindgren. But none of them won the award in such dominating fashion as last year's winner, Jeff Lissandro.
Thank you.
Lissandro earned 3 bracelets on his way to becoming the 2009 Player of the Year. Although Lissandro's 3-bracelet effort will not be beat this year, Frank Casella, who had 2 wins, is guaranteed at least a share of the Player of the Year title.
That's right. There's one guy who can catch him. The man they call the Grinder is still mathematically in the hunt.
Grinder, can you get Player of the Year? Grinder? Can you get Player of the Year or no?
To win.
You got to win it? Wow.
It's a tie.
For a tie? For a tie? What, Frank? Wow.
Frank has come here to make sure that doesn't happen. Is that a taser he's carrying?
Frank would have won Player of the Year outright had Thorson eliminated Michael in that last hand, but the Grinder sticks around. All right, we continue here at the featured table. Racner with Ace-King.
Back when we were on the money bubble, Racner had less than 15 big blinds left, but it's been smooth sailing since then.
From first position or under the gun, a raise to 180 by Racner. Habib with Jack 7 of clubs, lays it down. Now to Michael Mizrachi. Michael looks down at Ace-King also.
That's pretty much the same cards as Racner.
Pretty much so. And he re-raises to 580,000. Matt Affleck from Seattle on the button, lays down 10 deuce. Dewey Lay gets rid of his hand, so the re-raise back to John Racner.
And he has pretty much the same cards as Grinder, Lon.
And he puts the same amount of chips in the middle. So, like 2 gunslingers with the same weapon, Racner and Grinder take their ace-kings to the flop. It's King 4-7 Rainbow. A chop pot is guaranteed if they show down on the river. Racner checks.
They both like the flop line because they pretty much have the same strong hand.
Top pair, top kicker. Mizrachi bets it, though, 600,000.
What's Mizrachi got?
Ace-King.
What's Racner got?
Ace-King.
Fascinating.
Racner call. Trave spades on the turn. Racner checks again.
Racner and Grinder have become friends playing poker the last few years.
Grinder continues to fire 925.
Racner doesn't like playing big pots. He'll check call a lot, trying to control the size of the pot.
He does check call here. So 4.4 million in the pot now.
Oh my goodness, there goes the trip to Bermuda.
River card now. Is another 4. Racner checks a 3rd time.
Grinder peeks at his cards again. They're the same as Racner's.
Michael.
1 million.
He's going to fire again. 1 million.
I guess we can go to Disney World again.
Michael's getting in very deep, and Lily knows it.
Racner chewing and ruminating. They both have the same cards.
They don't know that, though, yet.
You either got aces or ace-king.
Do they know each other, or do they know each other?
Right.
Oh, does Robert come on family vacations?
I call.
Racner makes the call. There's one ace-king. And Racner shows the other. A collective sigh of relief here at the Rio.
Lon, they both had ace-king, like I said. Too bad that wasn't the wild card hand.
And they will chop it.
And Mrs. Grinder can relax.
Did you fold to the turn if I check raise?
Good answer.
Quite a test of wills for these 2 top players, and the appropriate result. Out into one of the 4 tables in the field, Russian pro Sergei Rybachenko with a king-high flush draw was just raised all in after the flop by Kun Soy-Wen, who flopped top pair. Does Rybachenko want to risk it all here? He does make the call.
So now it will be a race for Sergei Rybachenko's main event life.
Win the amateur, trying to knock off the Russian pro. Turn card 8 of spades. Rybachenko with a lot of outs.
Rybachenko still looking for a king, queen, or heart, or he is done.
The river card is a 7 of clubs. Soy Win fades all danger and takes the last of Rybachenko's chips. 45th place for Rybachenko, by far his biggest live tournament score, over $206,000.
And the 37-year-old amateur from Southern California keeps stacking chips.
Over $7.7 million now for Soy Win. All right, let's get back to table 2, where Italian Filippo Candio sits with his lucky sweater. Either that or he only packed for one day here in Vegas, Norman. Queen 5 off. He lays it down to Jonathan Duhamel, 22-year-old French-Canadian poker pro. Pocket 8s.
He says he likes to shadow box when he comes back from breaks. It helps him regain his focus.
He makes a raise to $200,000.
I'd shadow box, but I'm afraid I'd hit myself.
Or me. Over to Matt Berkey, 28-year-old, lives in Vegas, transplant from Pennsylvania, 10-6 of diamonds in the big blind. He makes the call. All right, heads up now to the flop. It is 6 tray 6. Berkey hits trip 6s. Duhamel left with his pocket 8s. Berkey checks it. Duhamel bets it, $245. Berkey with a check raise now to $625,000.
Berkey looks like he's guilty of something.
Duhamel will make that call.
And Duhamel in awful shape here.
Here's the turn card. 8 of diamonds. Duhamel in great shape now. 8's full.
Where did that card come from?
No kidding. Berkey checks again.
I didn't even know there's an 8 of diamonds in the deck.
Duhamel now checks his boat.
Well, they both slow play their big hands.
A deuce on the river. Duhamel now with a check mark. Berkey now wants to lead out. Too bad. $1.2 million.
He bets 2/3 the pot, and Berkey is looking for a call here.
Duhamel
Mullen.
raises all in.
And a huge decision here for Berkey with trip 6s. This would be for almost all of the Las Vegas pros chips.
Call.
Berkey makes Duhamel's day.
8s?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
So sick, Lon.
8's full of 6s for Duhamel, and he takes that $7.8 million chip pot.
Duhamel gets healthy, and Berkey needs some health care.
Duhamel not scared off by the check raise.
I have chips.
And he hits bingo on the turn to double up.
We play for big pots, small stakes, and the chance to say, read 'em and weep. For the weekends, the all-nighters, and the lunch hour. We play for the legends and for the unknowns who dream of winning it all. For the bad beats and the pocket kings we sometimes have the sense to fold. We play at fulltiltpoker.com.
Now it's time for Straight from the Pros, brought to you by PokerStars.net. On day 1 of the 09 main event, Daniel Negreanu was not feeling well, but his radar still managed to get him out of a potentially dangerous situation.
It was the first hand that I was in the small blind. Normally I limp in. I decided I'm going to raise here because I had 2 aces, and I wanted to put a little more money in the pot. He called, and the flop came 7, 7, 8. I bet, and he called. So right off the bat, I'm a little bit worried. He's either got an 8, a 7, or some kind of a straight draw. Well, the turn is an 8. Now I can't beat a 7 or I can't beat an 8. Check it. There's also a flush draw there. I check and he checked it. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe my aces are good. River card came a spade. Check it. I checked and he bet again, 800. I was like, really? Everything added up to me just thinking that, okay, he flopped a 7 and was going to trap me. Poker is more than just reading people's faces. And in that hand, he definitely looked comfortable to me, but it was more just trying to putting him on a hand. Of the 4 possibilities he could have, 3 of them beat me, and the other one he probably doesn't have, because if he did, he would have bet the turn.
Daniel folds.
A lot of times when it's really cheap in the early stages of a tournament, I like to call just to see what they had, to see if I'm right. But in this case, I was just so sure. You know, I just felt like a waste.
45 players remain here at the Rio. Only 2, Habib and Thorson, have been this deep in a main event before. They're both at the feature table. Action on Corey Emery, an amateur from Southern California, 7-4 of clubs, into the muck. Mizrachi now with pocket 5s.
Grinder played football in high school, but he loves playing basketball now.
Grinder from under the gun +2 raises to $180,000 to Matt Affleck with ace-king.
He also plays basketball, but he prefers golf.
Affleck with the ace-king re-raises to $500,000.
Actually, Matt prefers raising pots to anything else.
Dewey Lay with ace-queen.
1.4.
And Dewey Lay's going to repop it to $1.4 million.
Boy, that reminds me of when Lay 4-betted with ace-queen on day 6 and got Jeff Banghart to lay down pocket jacks.
Baker lays down his big blind, so action back to Mizrachi in the pocket fives.
Grinder the original raiser, and he has seen 2 raises behind him.
Grinder retreats.
Can't say I blame him.
The ace-king now of Affleck. All in for $4.8 million.
Boy, that might cast a different light on ace-queen. $3.5 million more to Dewey Lay.
Ace-queen in the muck. Affleck wins the pot.
Got a decent pair. You show the flop or no? Well, give me a rabbit cam.
No.
Can't get a rabbit cam here?
No rabbit
Give me
cam.
a rabbit one time.
They want to see what the flop would have been. 6-8 jack.
I didn't flop myself.
They're not supposed to do that.
I saved money. No, you weren't. I was kidding.
So Affleck will take that uncontested pot. It brings his total now to more than $6.6 million. Mizrachi had to fold his hand. He has lost over half his stack here on day 7. And that does not sit well with Lily Mizrachi, nervous as usual, but she's not going anywhere. Katie Lederer, the sister of Howard Lederer, still watching her boyfriend Ben Stotts. He's in a hand right now, facing an all-in pre-flop from Nicolas Babel with ace-king.
Babel graduated from École Nationale Supérieure de Télécommunications de Paris. I believe they are the rambling wreck.
With pocket 10, Stotts makes the call to put Babel at risk with his ace-king.
Let's go.
$4.6 million in the middle. Stotts trying to take it all. All right, now here's the flop. It is 9-5-8 Stotts with his pocket 10 still ahead.
Babel has an engineering degree and a master's in management. That's no good here.
Turn card another 9, no help to Babel.
Babel looking for an ace or a king, or he is eliminated.
The river card, oh, is the ace! And the Frenchman comes through with the double up.
I hope Ben Stotts shielded his eyes during that mini celebration. I can't understand him. My French accent is better.
Stotts takes the hit, but he's still up for the day. Nearby, day 2 chip leader David Asseline has 2 pair with the river card out. Pascal Lefrancois with a full house bet enough to put Asseline all in.
If Asseline calls, he's gone.
Asseline does call, and he will be gone in 44th place.
You hate calling off all your chips. 33 big blinds down the drain. Main event over.
$206,000, though, for David Asseline. A nice run here. Pascal Lefrancois moves into 3rd place with 11.5 million chips. All right, big doings over at table 2. Filippo Candio has $700,000 in the pot pre-flop with pocket 5s. Johnny Lawton also in the pot, holding ace-deuce, while short-stacked Matt Berkey is all in for his last $85,000 with 4-deuce. 3 players to the flop, Berkey at risk. It's Jack 10 Queen, Candio ahead with his pocket 5s. Lawton with a Broadway draw. Candio bets into the side pot.
That surprises me. He doesn't have much and with an all-in player. You often see the others check it down. Candio actually got mad at another player for doing the same thing to him earlier in the main event.
Lawton will lay it down, so Candio has Berkey all to himself, and Candio way ahead.
Candio now a near certainty to knock off Berkey.
Turn card is a king. Lawton would have hit Broadway had he stuck around. Candio still way ahead.
Berkey now needs an ace or a 9 to chop the pot and survive.
It's a 4 of diamonds. Matt Berkey eliminated from the main event as Candio takes all his chips. A 28-year-old Berkey with his biggest ever live tournament payout.
Candio doesn't know how fortunate he is he bet the flop.
Giocatevele tutti all'ultima mano prima del break.
Boy, he's got a terrible Italian accent.
I think he said, I'm not going anywhere. You guys are in big trouble. Or something like that.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Back inside the Rio, just 42 players remain in the main event. 3 of them at table 2 are about to see a turn card. Filippo Candio holds pocket 7s and is way behind. Patrick Skander has ace high, while Jonathan Duhamel leads the 2 of them with a pair of kings, almost $800,000 in the middle. Turn card 9 of clubs. Duhamel and his 2 kings are still best. Skander checks. Duhamel now with the best hand. He bets at $360,000.
Duhamel decides the water is safe. I don't think the water is ever safe, Lon.
Well, certainly not for Candio, who calls with his smaller pair.
Candio in terrible shape in this hand.
Squeeze play, huh?
Nobody bunted.
Skander folds. Heads up, Duhamel and Candio. 10 on the river. Duhamel with a check mark with the kings. Duhamel first to act. And he's going to bet it. 215.
215?
Yeah.
That's not a bet. That's a deposit on a motor scooter.
Condio with a raise to 715.
Oh, Condio was calling the turn to bluff the river. See, the water's never safe.
It is not. Duhamel calls for $500,000.
He's a non-believer.
Sevens.
Yeah, Condio doesn't feel his sevens are good, and they are not. Duhamel takes the pot with kings.
Duhamel swims to safety, and Condio sinks into the river.
So Jonathan gets the best of the Italian. Duhamel has no problem playing big pots in critical situations in the biggest live poker event in the world. He lives to be in high-pressure moments.
I live by adrenaline.
Yeah, baby.
I did jump the stratosphere, the bungee thing.
Vegas, yeah.
I do a lot of sports. I don't like sitting back on the chair and doing nothing. That's not me. I like action.
That's good.
I like people racing me. I'm going to play back at you. I'm going to play with you. And I like that.
Wallen. Nice.
You can put so much pressure in someone's head just by throwing chips in the middle.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's really tough for some people to handle. When I get to the Amazon room, I'm so focused, so in the zone, so in the game. You know, I go in the zone and, okay, you ready? Are you ready, John? You ready? Okay, let's do it. The only thing I'm thinking is winning that tournament. I know I can do it. I know I can play a good poker. So if I play good poker, if cards are with me, then you'll see me November 9th.
Duhamel also plays a lot of hockey, but he's a defenseman. I don't get it. In poker, he's all offense.
To the outer tables, Minneapolis poker pro Jason Sentai flopped aces up and bet $525,000. Two players folded. Action on Matthew Bucharic with only top pair.
Bucharic, a 24-year-old pro.
I'm on.
That would put Jason Sentai all in.
You have over 5 or whatever, right?
Sentai makes that call, and he looks to be headed for a hefty double-up through Bucharic.
Hi, Jesse. I'm all in.
Sentai in great shape to double up against Bucharic. Two young college grads here. Nice to see that.
Turn card is a 6. Sentai still ahead, but he can't relax yet.
With a river 6, they would chop the pot. Only a king knocks Jason Sentai out.
The river card is a deuce of clubs, and Sentai with the double-up. Bucharic ships about half his stack across the table.
The 28-year-old Sentai now in good shape with about 75 big blinds.
It's a bit of it's a cooler.
And Sentai remains in this field of 42. On the tournament ticker brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net, we take a look at how this field breaks down. The average age is 30. The oldest player, Hassan Habib. The youngest, Mikhail Sipkins. 12 countries still represented. 5 bracelet winners are left. Back at the feature table, Michael Mizrachi back in the danger zone under $2.5 million. You can see why. He's voluntarily played in 9 of the last 22 hands. His record is not all that impressive. His biggest win, his pre-flop all-in. Action here on Damian Luis with pocket 4s.
At that end of the table, Lon, you must wear sunglasses or they will not seat you.
A raise to $180,000. Racner lays it down.
Boy, Hassan Habib's been sitting on a short stack forever.
And he is still here, but he'll lay that hand down. Over to Corey Emery. 7-6 of spades.
He once lost 100 pounds in a one-year period. So what? I once gained 100 pounds in a one-year period. To each his own.
From the button, Emery makes that call. Mizrachi now in the small blind. Ace, deuce of clubs.
The lure of the suited ace from the small blind. So many men before us have given in to its temptation.
And Mizrachi does likewise, makes the call. Big blind, Matt Affleck.
He's rotating 7 Seattle jerseys here at the main event. This is day 7. What's he going to do if he makes it to day 8?
Exactly. Jack 8 of clubs. He's in the pot as well.
That's just bad planning, Lon. Would have killed the kid to buy an 8th jersey.
4 players will see a flop. It is King 5-8. Affleck is best with his pair of 8s. Emery with an up and down straight draw. Mizrachi checks, he missed. Matt now with middle pair. He checks. Luis, his pocket 4s are rags, and he checks. Emery lets him see a free turn card.
Why do they all have chips if they're not going to use them?
Turn card now. 5 of clubs. Affleck with 2 pair now and a jack-high flush draw. Mizrachi with a nut flush draw. And he bets about half the pot, $400,000.
Yeah, Grinder picks up a draw and thinks he's king of the world. He's just head of the Mizrachi family.
Affleck, with the best hand, makes the call. Luis folds. He was drawing thin. Emery gets out of the way.
If a club comes on the river, we're going to see some fireworks.
River card now. 7 of diamonds. Affleck with the check mark. Grinder missed his draw.
That's right, Matt. Take a look at him. He's just a Mizrachi.
Grinder is going to bet it, though. He likes to do that. 600,000.
We've seen this before from Grinder. Busted hand on the river, and he bets it.
Affleck pausing now. And lays the best hand down, giving too much credit to Michael.
Grinder outplays Affleck, and boy, he needed that.
If you want to show one.
Grinder doesn't want to show any.
And he'll take in a few more chips.
I just wanted to make your fans happy.
You have a flush draw?
8 with clubs. You had 6-7. It was a very good bet.
Matt with the right idea. Grinder was just on a draw.
Affleck takes the small hit.
It'll be on tilt. Don't watch the TV for that.
Mizrachi winning every which way he can.
Hello, beautiful. Oh, yeah.
No one to play with? So play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
You folded?
Welcome back to the Rio and the 2010 main event. The dealer at the feature table gets the cards in the air, and one of our 9 players will have the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
My motto is, Lon, if first you don't succeed, fail again.
John Racner has the wild card hand.
Racner and I come from different worlds. Different worlds! Plus, he's half my age, and he's smarter than me.
Racner reaching for chips, so that wild card hand raised to 235.
From UTG plus 2, I'll put him on something like pocket 5s or 6s.
5s or 6s is Norman's guess. Folded over to Matt Affleck in the big blind, King Jack offsuit.
Last year, day 6 was a disaster for him. This year, he got through day 6, and here on day 7, he can think about the November 9.
And for 135,000 more, he makes the call from the big blind. So Racner and Affleck will see a flop. Now the flop is 10-5, Queen 2 spades. Affleck with an up and down straight draw. And Racner might have a set, Norman?
Possibly.
Affleck first to act, and he checks.
I've been practicing checking like that at home. It's harder than it looks.
It's a little painful. Racner reaching for chips. 340,000.
He could have a set of 5s, or he could be betting a pocket pair like 6s.
Affleck with his straight draw. We'll come along and see a turn card at least.
I just have a tough time reading someone with shades, 2 earrings, and chewing gum.
A tray of clubs on the turn. Affleck gets no help.
Tray of clubs changes nothing, as usual.
Matt just with king high checks again.
If Racner's got a set, he's not going to give Matt a free card here.
I guess no set.
Racner might not even have a pair. Why would he give Matt a free card?
River card is a 4 of spades, a 3rd spade on board.
And there are 13 spades in the deck.
Affleck now
pulling a grinder here.
Leaps into action, bluffing on that board with straight and flush possibilities, 650.
Yeah, he misses his draw, but bets the river. He reads weakness from John Racner.
Racner looks down at 9-8 of hearts, a busted straight draw.
That's all he had? I think it's safe to say I completely whiffed on that one.
Affleck wins the Jack Link's Beef Jerky wild card hand.
You try to guess sometime.
All the hubbub at that outer table indicates someone's all in, and indeed with ace-king, 2-time bracelet winner Scott Clements is at risk. Called down by Ben Stotts and his pocket kings.
Stotts, the New York amateur. Clements with 7 World Series final tables. Solid player.
Here's the flop and an ace for Clements. He surges into the lead.
Someone needs to tell Scott Clements he's surging into the lead.
It's a tray on the turn. Clements 1 card from doubling.
For Stotts now, only the last king of the deck would knock out Clements.
The river card is a 7, and Clements will double up. Stotts taking the blows.
Stotts takes another tough beat. Clements quietly sticks around.
Scott keeps his hopes alive for a 3rd World Series bracelet. At another table, 3 players saw a flop. Theo Jorgensen has the nut flush draw. He checked, called a bet of $500,000. Soy Win flop top pair and check raised to $1.5 million. Brandon Steven, who bet the flop, just folded, so action now back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen with the draw re-raises to $4.5 million.
This is getting serious now. Jorgensen with the semi-bluff, trying to push Soy Win off his hand.
Win with a pair of kings.
Come on.
It's all in.
Michael.
And Jorgensen makes the call, Norman.
Wow, look at this pot. Nearly 20 million chips. Two guys with a lot of gamble in them.
Jorgensen on the draw. Soy Win now discovers he's ahead with the kings.
With more than 100 big blinds left, Win risks it all with top pair. And Jorgensen, with his draw, now has 9.3 million chips at risk. Whoever wins here will easily be the new chip leader.
10 of diamonds. Win still ahead. Jorgensen with a lot of outs.
Jorgensen looking for an ace or any club to knock out Soy Win.
The river card, a tray of diamonds, and Soy Win takes the pot.
Soy Win is super stoked. Theo Jorgensen is short stacked.
Jorgensen went for the big score on the draw and came up short. Soy Win, the Southern California amateur, is now the leader here on day 7. Unbelievable. Only at the main event.
The World Series of Poker, presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Main event.
Welcome back to the Rio. The poker room still buzzing about that last hand. One-time chip leader Theo Jorgensen shipping almost 10 million chips to the new top dog Soy Win. Win with an incredible 19.5 million leads everyone. Joseph Chung in second place. Thorson, LeFrancois, Condio, and Duhamel the others with 10 million plus. Soy Win spreading the news of his good fortune like Chris Moneymaker and Darvin Moon before him. Soy is a regular guy chasing a dream, but when it comes to inexperience at the table, he might have them all beat.
I'm a director of operations for a durable medical equipment supply company out in Southern California. I really don't play poker at all. I know this sounds so crazy, but if I were to say maybe once every 6 months, I would probably be stretching it. Never expected to make it this far. I just wanted to go to someday tell my grandkids that, hey, I've been there, I played in it. Nice hand, man. I don't know where I should be as far as chip-wise and what the average stack and all that stuff. I don't know all that lingo and what that means. Tight, aggressive, no, I don't know what that means. Implied odds, don't know what that is. UG plus 3, I don't even know what that is. Under the gun, I always kind of understood, which is the position right before the buying put. Don't know what that is at all. Never heard of the term hold equity. Everybody out there is going to probably laugh at me now. I'm just going to try my best and figure it out. This whole entire experience, if I had to sum it up in one word, it would be surreal.
It's a main event wonder. The average Joe Soy Win chip leader with just 41 players left.
To another player who was his own best cheering section, Michael Skinder.
Perfect. Let's go.
Skinder with pocket tens, trying to eliminate John Dolan at risk with ace-queen of clubs, and Dolan catches an ace to grab the advantage.
Skinder the basketball pro, Dolan the poker pro.
Turn card tray of spades, Skinder gets no help.
Only a 10 sends John Dolan home.
It's a queen on the river. Ace is up for Dolan. Will keep him in the tournament, but he's short on ammunition with just 2.9 million.
I'm still in the tournament.
But he's playing on fumes with only 7 big blinds. All right, let's get back over to table 2. Canadian Jonathan Duhamel with king high is waiting on Californian Patrick Skander, who flopped a flush draw.
Skander, another amateur hanging deep with the pros. He's a medical practice manager.
Reaching for chips, 675,000.
Duhamel says he loves when people play at him.
Duhamel loves to be aggressive himself with a raise to 1.55 million.
Raising with absolutely nothing.
Skander makes the call.
With the diamond draw.
All right, so a turn card with 4.2 million in the middle. 4 of hearts misses both. Duhamel still ahead. Skander checks.
Here comes the adrenaline junkie.
He loves to push the chips. Over 2.3 million from Duhamel.
Duhamel king high and no draw.
How can Skander continue here?
It's a big bet.
The problem for Skander, even if he puts Duhamel on a move, his 10 high can't be anything at the moment.
I guess your trips are good. My fault.
Skander gives up his hand. Duhamel didn't have trips, nothing near.
Millions you won on a big hand.
Show the bluff. We haven't seen one for a while.
It's not a bluff. He's got trips.
It's not a bluff, you know it.
He's got me beat.
Yeah, ace queen no good. You know that.
I got better than ace queen, but still, I don't think it's any good.
Trips? No good, dude.
I'm over the board.
Poker players breathe and poker players lie. That's their day.
And this day has been very good to Jonathan Duhamel. He's up to more than $13.2 million. Now back to the dangerous featured table, which still includes the $12 million chip man William Thorson of Sweden, recent bracelet winner Michael Mizrachi, along with Hassan Habib, a bracelet winner himself who finished 4th at the 2000 main event. On the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Pocket Cam, Habib with Ace King.
Hassan won his bracelet in 2004 in stud 8.
Habib, short stacked, moves all in for his last $460,000. William Thorson now. He looks down at Ace Queen.
Thorson owns some horses, says he gets a rush from horse racing just like he does from poker.
And he makes the call to put Habib officially at risk. Now to Mizrachi, 9-6. Not suited, I guess, so he won't play. Affleck folds. Dewey Lay gives it up over to Damian Luis. Pocket fours. He's short stacked also.
I'm all in.
And he moves all in.
I guess I'm on a mission for 2 short stacks.
Thorson, the bounty hunter, with a smile.
Thorson with the Ace Queen makes the call to put both Habib and Luis at risk.
I get a rush off of a 3-way all-in.
Habib with the Ace King, Luis with the pocket fours.
Habib at risk, Luis also at risk, but he has Habib covered.
Luis right now with the best hand.
I'm rooting for you a bit. I want you to hit an ace. Thank you. I win side pot, so I'm happy.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, buddy.
So let's celebrate together.
Well, if they're celebrating, I guess Damian Luis won't be.
And now the flop. And Thorson got his wish. There's an ace. Habib takes the lead with his better kicker. Thorson ahead in the side pot with Luis, who's in trouble.
Luis on the edge.
A 6 on the turn. Habib can triple up. Thorson got no help. Luis needs some river magic.
Thorson can knock out both players with a river queen. Luis has to have a 4 or he's gone.
River is a 5. Habib triples up to almost $1.6 million. Thorson wins the side pot and eliminates Damian Luis. He'll win over $206,000.
Hassan Habib hanging around, still the small stack.
Thorson still with one of the bigger stacks over $12 million.
We should rename Hassan the Grinder.
Hassan the Grinder?
Grinding out.
No, there's only one grinder.
Short stack.
There's only one grinder, buddy.
There may be only one grinder, but Hassan Habib is proving he is one tenacious guy. He's not going down without a fight.
At Ultimate Bet, we constantly perfect and test our software to ensure it's the fastest, most advanced around. We consult with the best. So our tournament structure and player interface, rock like no other. But there's one test that totally cleans up at the table. One test that truly defines the ultimate poker experience. Nice! Very nice!
Back at the Rio, 40 players remaining, including Michael Skinder right now, who's all in with 9-7 off.
No, I sit down. I'm not going away. I'm not going away.
Gianni Dorenza with King 10 trying to send the confident German pro basketball player back to the hardwood. The flop now. Trey Ace 4, all hearts. Dorenza still best with King High, plus he's got the better flush draw.
Well, it looks like Michael Skinder will be going away.
Turn card now is a 5 that puts a wheel draw on the board and gives Skinder a straight draw to the 7.
With a non-heart deuce, they split. With a non-heart 9, 7, or 6, Skinder doubles up. Otherwise, he's gone.
It is a deuce of diamonds, and that will be a split pot.
I'm not going home, man. I'm not going home.
If he wants to go home, I will drive him home.
Hey, first time in a tournament, I'm all in, and I'm not going home.
I got the keys in the ignition.
Sometimes just chopping a pot is running good. Over to Jonathan Driscoll, who's all in.
I'm standing up. I can win this.
He's also confident his King 9 will eventually overtake the pocket jacks of Brandon Steven.
The apple farmer versus the car dealer only at the main event.
And a set of jacks for Steven.
Early celebration.
Driscoll did pick up a flush draw. Turn card now is a 10 of hearts. Driscoll adds a straight draw.
So Driscoll needs a queen or a diamond or he's gone.
The river card is a 9 of diamonds. Driscoll was right twice. His King High flush earns him the double up.
And just like that, Jonathan Driscoll's got 30 big blinds.
Still below the chip average, but he's okay with that for the time being. Back to the featured table and the tale of the tape presented by the official WSOP game. Play now on Facebook. A comparison of the voluntary hands played by Mizrachi and Thorson. Grinder's been busier, and it's paid off.
Well, indeed, Mizrachi's more active, but his plus differential is due to one big hand he won, his ace-jack pre-flop all in. It's not how many pots you win, it's the size of the pots you win.
The big picture, though, still favors Thorson, who owns over 12 million chips and is in second place overall in this main event. Thorson looks down at pocket sevens.
Thorson and his good buddy Johnny Lawden, both still around with 5 tables left in the main event. Pretty remarkable.
Thorson limps in for 100,000. Grinder folds King Trey.
Of course, Grinder and his brothers, quite remarkable.
Affleck now in the small blind, Queen Jack of diamonds.
And Matt, remarkable all on his own. Second straight deep main event run.
He raises the action to 375,000. The big blind folds back over to Thorson. With the pocket sevens, Thorson will come along.
2 young whippersnappers.
Here's the flop. It is 5 deuce 9 rainbow. Thorson's pocket sevens are the best hand. Affleck with 2 overcards to the board bets 475,000.
Matt snaps his whip again.
Thorson has chips. Just a call.
Thorson says, "Where do you think I'm going? I've got a 6-month visa."
Turn card now. 6 of diamonds. Thorson 7 still lead. He picked up a straight draw. Affleck with a flush draw.
Matt on a precarious path.
900,000 into the pot from Matt.
If he stumbles, tournament rules prevent me from picking him up.
Thorson.
He wants to play. He always wants to play.
He's got the best hand, and he makes the call.
Well, Thorson's picked up his own draw, plus he's got the best hand, as you say, a good read, and that visa.
The river card now is an 8 of diamonds. Affleck hits his flush. That also gave Thorson a straight.
That's a ridiculous card. There's got to be something in the Geneva Convention against that.
Affleck betting the whole way. That may have disguised the flush. Bets 1.4 million here.
The value bet. That's my boy. Thorson cannot put him on diamonds.
Really?
He smells a diamond rat, though.
Thorson started his hand with over 12 million.
I don't have the feeling you're bluffing.
Boy, his radar is spot on. I'd be raising here, and Thorson might fold. He's getting 4.5 to 1 on a call.
He says, "I want to see your cards, Matt." And Matt shows him the flush.
Well, Thorson had to make the call, but he seemed to sense he was beat.
William looks a little surprised. And that lucky river card puts a smile on the face of Matt Affleck.
That's my boy. I do like Thorson's hair, though.
Thorson down to 9.2 million in 7th place. Affleck up to 9.5 million.
And he's now in 6th. I've got to call his mother.
Nice hand, bro.
Matt Affleck, not the only one who played well today. All of the heavy hitters at our featured table have been impressive, and they all move a bit closer to becoming a member of the November 9. For Norman Chat, I'm Lon McCarran. More to come from the main event at the World Series of Poker.